Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody tuning in or wherever you are in the world, and welcome to this webinar on the secrets to supercharging customer loyalty. Before I get into the webinar, I just want to check that everyone can hear me and see the screen okay. You can type in the live chat box to let me know. Okay, seems like everything is working all right. Let's get into this. Getting that one customer into your store rather than in your competitors is the way the battle is won every single day. A fraction of what we're going to cover today, you will be a step closer to winning that battle forever. So by the end of this webinar, you will have the confidence and the know-how to maximize customer acquisition loyalty program across different channels. You'll have the confidence and know-how to entice and drive customers back into your store or website. You're creating personalized and engaging messages. You'll be able to tailor your loyalty program experience for each and every customer by using real-time data and analytics. By the end of this webinar, you'll feel the confidence to reward your loyal customers without even leaving your seat. So if at any time during this webinar you have any questions at all or have any comments or thoughts, there's a live chat box right next to the video that you're streaming this from or below the video. Share them with us in the chat box below, and we'll do our best to come back to it at the end of this webinar to answer any of the questions that you might have. And if we don't have time, don't worry, we'll still capture all of these questions and we'll answer them by sending you an email. So just a short intro about Loopy Loyalty today. Currently, Loopy Loyalty is being used in over 57 countries across the world. Plus industries are currently using Loopy Loyalty, and I'll jump into some of these industries in just a bit. And there's over 7,000 users or even 7,000 businesses currently benefiting from Loopy Loyalty. So some of the businesses that we've seen so far include coffee shops, food trucks, sandwich vans. We've got hair salons, massage parlors, spas, nail salons, surf instructors, teachers, universities, schools. We've even got CrossFit gyms, car washing services. All of these businesses are actually already using and benefiting from Loopy Loyalty. We've even seen a surge of businesses that are or entrepreneurs that are running e-commerce websites and selling goods and services online using Loopy Loyalty to reward their customers, which is really cool. So we have a few e-commerce businesses that are selling makeup and lipstick online or selling nail packages online. And we've seen that they've been very, very successful already just by using Loopy Loyalty and engaging with their customers. There's a lot of different industries using Loopy Loyalty, and the main point that I want to call out here is that customer loyalty isn't confined by industry. It's not confined by the fact that you have the world. You can be an entrepreneur selling goods online. You can even be a freelance designer and reward your customers, reward any of your clients through digital stamp cards as well. You can even use Loopy Loyalty to incentivize, for example, your kids to do chores or something like that. So there's a lot of different use cases for Loopy Loyalty. And today what we're going to cover is to show you how you can supercharge and maximize everything that you're doing with Loopy Loyalty in order to get that one customer to come back to your store rather than your competitors. So the first thing I want to go over today is customer acquisition. How to promote your digital stamp cards so that you actually maximize the reach that you have, maximize the number of customers you can actually acquire, even if you're just a small coffee shop, or even if you're just a small nail salon, or even if you run an e-commerce website, what can you do today to get as many customers to see your brand, to download your stamp card, and then for you to then engage with them? So I'm right now in my Loopy Loyalty dashboard, and this is the overview page that you would see right after you've activated your card. And everything that I'm going to be covering today is everything after you've saved and activated your card. Now, we will do another webinar later on to show you the best practices of creating beautiful and engaging stamp cards, but this webinar is focused purely on everything after that creation phase. What can you do? It's basically the 80% that matters the most. What can you do today to get people to sign up, to get people to come back, and to get people to spend with you more often? When you've activated your card design, you'll be taken to this overview page, and on the right-hand side, you'll see your loyalty card URL. We provided a loyalty.is link, which is basically a short link for your card. This is the way in which you are going to be distributing your card to customers, as well as providing you guys with a QR code. Now, the QR code is actually just this URL over here embedded into the QR code. And then nowadays, a lot of people are more familiar with QR codes. There's a lot of 2D barcode scanners out there that are barcode scanner apps that easily allow customers to scan QR codes. WeChat, for example, has a built-in QR code scanner, Apple Wallet as well. And in the latest iOS 11, which should be coming in September time, the camera will act as a default QR code scanner. So distribute loyalty cards. So what you can do, as an example, there's different ways in which you can distribute online and offline. If you're going to be distributing online, and we would recommend doing this so that you can maximize the reach that you actually have, you've got platforms like social media. You've got Facebook, you've got Twitter, you've got Instagram as a channel as well. You can even distribute this URL through SMS. Well, I'll show you how you can do it through Twitter. All you need to do when you come to the page is copy this link by clicking the button here. If you were to go to your Twitter profile or wherever you tweet from, whether you're using other platforms, click on the Compose Tweet button, and let's just type in a tweet. So, join our loyalty program and earn rewards every time we walk your dog. In this case, I'll use a Dave's dog walking example just to show you guys through this webinar. Get your digital loyalty card here. And because I copied and pasted from just now, I should be able to paste, and you'll see the URL is right there. It has a character limit, but on Facebook and on Google Plus or on LinkedIn, wherever else you want to promote this link, there probably isn't that character limit. What we want to let you guys know is that you should make your messages concise and to the point, and give them a reason why they should even download their loyalty card. So this is a very short, to the message, to the point tweet. When users see this, or when your audience sees this, all they need to do is tap on this link, and then they'll be taken to the landing page, and the landing page looks something like this. So this is all done when you're creating your card. So as you're setting up your card, you're actually defining what fields you want to collect from customers. In this example, we're collecting their name, their email address, their mobile number, and their birthday. So this page is already mobile optimized. So if your audience is on Facebook on their mobile and they see your link, or they see a post by you and they tap on your link, they'll be taken to this page to fill out their information, and then instantly they can save it to Apple Wallet or Android Pay. So that's one way you can promote your loyalty cards online. Again, this is a URL, and this is probably the magic URL that you want to be using and spreading all over your online channels. We've seen a lot of businesses actually put this as a link on their website. So a few businesses, some of the e-commerce ones, and even restaurants, have put a join our loyalty program link at the top of their website. And when description of the rewards that customers will get if they join that loyalty program. Media is a great platform. Website is an absolute must if you're going to be wanting to get the attention of your customers. Your website is your asset, so you should be promoting a loyalty card there. So we go back to here now. You'll notice that we also have a QR code, and QR code works great actually in the offline world. Coffee shop. And I don't know if you've seen this before, but a lot of the times you might have posters or little tent cards placed throughout your coffee shop or next to your point of sale when you're checking out and buying a coffee. This is a great way for you to capture or acquire more customers that are not online, but are actually visiting you in the offline world. So it's customer acquisition in store too. So in our Loopy Loyalty Help Center, we provide a tent card template. So if you haven't seen a tent card, it looks something like this. Right over here, we provide a Photoshop file, a free Photoshop template that you can download from our Help Center. And then you can customize this tent card to your liking with your branding, with your colors, with your images, but most importantly, with your card URL and your unique loyalty card QR code. So as an example, this is the Photoshop file that we provide, and we provide a front and a back part of the tent card design. We've provided layers on the right-hand side over here. So for example, if I want to change the QR code and the link, you'll see this on the right. If I double-click this twice, it'll take me directly to the area in which I can replace that barcode. So if I've saved my barcode, it's effectively drag it in there. Now I'm just going to hide the previous one in there and resize that. And what you want to do first before you print, hundreds or a few dozen of these tent cards, you will want to test that the QR code actually works. So once you've saved this here, this QR code at the bottom will be replaced with yours. So in this Photoshop file, we provide a lot of different, we provide everything in layers. So all you need to do is go here and replace with your asset right there. So pretty straightforward for you to use. Again, if you're promoting in offline channels, you don't have to use a tent card, but we've seen that it makes it a lot easier for customers to quickly take out their phone, scan the QR code, and then program. We've seen businesses also use posters that they put on walls. And actually, a few businesses have even printed out the QR code on business cards. So when they're meeting different people and connecting with others, there's a new channel for them to acquire even more customers by printing it out on business cards. So to summarize on customer acquisition and maximizing on this, you have online and offline channels. There are millions of ways in which you can increase the visibility of your loyalty program and acquire users, whether they're online or whether they're offline. Social media is a great channel, website, email, SMS. Now you don't have to just use free channels as well. You can even use a targeted Facebook ad to, for example, target those that are around you or near your area with a specific job title, for example. You can promote this on posters and tent cards and business cards. So we would recommend, depending on your business and how you plan on attracting customers and where your customers are, to use a combination of both online and offline channels to promote your to promote your loyalty card in order for you to acquire as many customers as you can. It is more expensive, way more expensive, probably 5 to 10 times more expensive to acquire a new customer than it is to reward or to keep and retain an existing one. Now the next part is sending messages to customers and engaging with them in ways like you have never done before. So I'm going to jump back into Loopy Loyalty now. On the left-hand side, you've got your overview, insights, messages, customers, and design. We're now going to click on the messages navigation in the menu. And you'll see right away you can instantly send messages to customers. And what we've done with Loopy Loyalty is provided you with the ability to send a quick message to all of your customers or even a segment of your customers. So the first thing you want to do is determine who do you actually want to target. Now this is assuming you've already have customers that have installed your loyalty card. Now it's time to engage with them in ways to entice them to come back to your store or to send them a greeting. You can either select all of your customers or a segment of your customers. And when you can actually segment by stamps earned, rewards earned, or rewards redeemed. So for example, let's say I want to send a message to the customers earned, let's say 0 stamps in total. These customers have installed my card, but they haven't even come in for a stamp or haven't even spent money with me just yet. So what I want to do now is target them with something that will incentivize them to come in. So for example, stamps earned equals to 0, and it'll tell me below how many people I can potentially reach. So since I'm Dave's Dog Walkers in this example, let's do a message that says 10% off all dog walking services this week. So these messages can also contain emojis, and this will appear right on the lock screen of your customer's device. To send the message, all I need to do is tap Send Message. And a confirmation box will come in reminding or telling me that this is the message I want to send, how many people I'm going to be sending this to. Confirm and send. That's it. And my customers will be able to see this right on their lock screen and on their card itself. So let's say they happen to open their phone and they see the message. They'll be able to see the message on the back of the loyalty card for Apple Wallet. And if they scroll down on Android Pay, they'll be able to see that exact same message as well. So sending messages is very, very powerful because it allows you to target a specific customer segment. With paper stamp cards or paper loyalty cards, you're probably only engaging with your customers if you have collected their emails or mobile numbers. And nowadays, people treat emails as spam. You get 50 to 100, dozens and dozens of emails every day. Now you have a channel to reach your customers right on the lock screen, which is right next to their WhatsApp notifications or their Instagram notifications. This is the most prime real estate right now in a consumer's mind, the lock screen, and you have a channel through your digital stamp card. So at the bottom of the messages, you can even see a history of all the messages you've sent, the date you've sent it, the message you've sent, and the segment you've sent it to. So for example, I just sent this message to those that have earned 0 stamps and how many people it reached. Previously, I sent just to Wendy, and it'll show you exactly who you're sending this to and what messages work and what doesn't. You can even then A/B test if you see that 10% off all dog walking services gets 20 people to come in versus and get 2 stamps, because you might see that might work better. So by allowing you guys to see the push message history, you can then A/B test and see what works best and what resonates with your customers. And that's messages. And there's also another way that which we're going to do messages, which I'll show you just now, which gives you ultra targeting and really, really personalized experiences for your customers. So I guess to summarize, customer engagement wise, you can target and send messages to all your customers, a segment of them, and I'll show you individual customer as well. Now your messages don't just have to be promotional, because people get tired of seeing promotional messages all the time. 10% off this, come in for 2 for 1 tacos. It could be a lot, and we are bombarded today by so many different types of marketing messages. What you want to do with your stamp cards and your loyalty program is to ensure that you're not just who wants to receive marketing messages at all. So things you can also do would be greetings. So for example, if it is Christmas coming up, maybe you just want to send a Merry Christmas to everybody and to let them know that your store will be closing just a little bit earlier so that they know not to come into your store on this date. to people. So for example, if you are a golf instructor or any teacher of that matter, or teaching classes, you can remind your students that the next class will start in 2 hours and they'll be notified right away. You can even send instructions to people. So for example, let's say you're organizing an event, a pop-up event for your restaurant, and 5 hours before the event starts, you can send people instructions on directions, Make sure you take this exit B, to our pop-up venue. You can even remind people that the weather is going to be, to remind them to bring an umbrella if they want to. So a lot of different ways in which you can actually use messages to engage with the right person. It really does who you're targeting and what value that message will bring to that individual. Now let's dive into tailoring your loyalty program experience for each and every customer. And this is the really, really cool bit, because you can actually get to know your customers on a very, very personal level. And again, tailor that experience so it fits their preferences, their behaviors, and their desires. So let's jump into the customers section of Loopy Loyalty. Shown you the page, and this is your loyalty program enrollment page. When you set this up previously, your first name, email address, mobile number, and birthday, for example, all of the information that your customers are entering in here will then be stored in your customers table in Loopy Loyalty. This is that you don't, as a business, you don't need additional CRM software. You don't need to invest in expensive software at all. You essentially have your own CRM just right within Loopy Loyalty, and by simply creating your stamp card and collecting that information from them. So in this example, I've got a few customers enrolled in my loyalty program already. You can see the first name is collected here, their email address is listed here, their cell phone number or mobile number, and even their birthday. I added some additional information in the customers table, such as the sign-up date, so when this person actually enrolled into your loyalty program, status, and the card status actually provides you with a lot more insight as to how many people actually have that card in their phone. So installed means that that customer has installed your loyalty card into Apple Wallet or Android Pay, the channel in which you can connect with them. The card status of issued means that the customer, this page, they filled in the information, they clicked join now, they saved that card into Apple Wallet or Android Pay. Collected that information already, and let's say for some reason they didn't know how to install that card into Apple Wallet or Android Pay, or they forgot to do it. It's not a problem. I'll show you exactly how you can send somebody their personalized card in just 1 second. You'll see is deleted. So you'll actually know if that has first installed that card and then decided to delete it at a later stage. You don't get this insight with paper stamp cards. Typically with paper stamp cards, somebody would pick one up. You don't even know if they have it in their wallet, whether it's in their back pocket, or whether they picked one up and then chucked it away as they left your store. But now you'll know, if somebody didn't want your card or they deleted it for some reason. And if you've collected their information, you could maybe even go back to them and say, hey, did you lose your phone or did you accidentally delete your card? Not a problem. Here's your card with all of your stamps and rewards earned without you having to reissue and restart again. So let's jump into a customer right now. How you can jump into each customer profile is by clicking on the Actions link right next to that customer. Once you've clicked into it, you can see a bunch of information at the top. So you can see when that customer first enrolled, the number of stamps they've earned time, the number of rewards they've earned, and the rewards redeemed. You can even see when the last time they visited was and when the last time they spent with you. So last stamp earned, last reward earned, and last reward redeemed. And again, the card status, as I was explaining earlier. The personal information, we saw this on the previous table, but it's also listed here for your convenience. Bottom of the page, you can see a full list of transactions for this specific customer right from the start, right from when they've joined your program. So let's just make this a little bit bigger. So all the way from the sign up date, this person signed up on the 24th of August. They then earned 2 stamps. They earned 1 reward. They earned 12 stamps. You can basically see this history from day one. And this won't ever, and you'll be able to access this at any time you want. So you can actually see the behaviors and understand the patterns of each individual customer and how they're spending and how they're redeeming rewards. Over here, we provide every customer, every individual with a unique stamp card link. So when I was saying earlier, for those that have, signed up for the loyalty program, but haven't actually installed their cards in their phone, forgot, maybe they didn't know how to do it, you will know who falls into that category, and you can simply copy and paste this link and send this to your customers if you've collected their email, for example, or you've collected their cell phone number. And this makes it just a lot easier, and your customers will definitely appreciate this because they may have thought that by signing up for the loyalty program that automatically they've installed the card. This makes it a lot easier for you to then reach out to this customer, and especially important if, let's say, your customer suddenly deletes their card accidentally. They're clicking around the buttons too much and they accidentally deleted it. How are they going to get their cards back? With a paper one, if you accidentally lose it, chances of you getting that paper card back is very, very slim, and the chances of you going to staff and saying, hey, I just lost my card. I've already collected 8 stamps. Can you give me a new one with 8 stamps? That merchant or that business to actually prove that you've earned 8 stamps. But with Loopy Loyalty, you have that proof. Everything in here is proof that this customer is who they say they are, and were deleted. I'm confident that if your customer deleted their card, all you need to do is copy and paste this link and send it back to them. Very, very simple. So we've also provided a view of your customer's card on the right-hand side, so you can actually see what your customers are seeing. There's an Apple Wallet version and an Android version as well. I covered earlier was sending messages to your customers and to all of your customers, as well as sending a message to a specific customer segment. You can even send a message to this specific customer. So if you're looking at their transactions and you notice that they have not visited, they haven't spent money with you, they haven't engaged with your brand in any way in the last month or so, maybe you want to send them a message to see whether they could come in. So for example, you could say, come in this week to get an additional stamp by purchasing this bottle of wine. Like I said earlier, your messages shouldn't always be promotional because that could get very annoying. It could get very spam-like. A powerful feature, and if you've collected birthday, you can even send birthday messages to that individual and treat them with something that's nice. So for example, let's say, happy birthday, Wendy. Come in this week for a free bottle of wine. So maybe you know that I like wine. You could, again, collect this information on this page to see what your customers like and then give them something back and relate that to, hey, Wendy, come in this week for a free bottle of wine. If I click on send, confirm and send that this is the message that I want to send. And within seconds, it's sent to your customers. You'll get a success notification here. And if you go back into messages, you'll see the push message history. So you'll know that I sent this message to Wendy on this date and it reached me. So let's go back into that profile because there's a couple of other cool things that I want to show you guys. Now, what we've seen worked well is actually, we've actually seen this from a massage parlor in Australia. So they've distributed their loyalty card URL online. They promoted this massively, and but they may not be at the massage parlor when they've downloaded the card. So what this business has done is once a customer has installed their card and there are 0 stamps on it, they've rewarded that customer with their first stamp right away and then sent them a cool push message. So for example, a customer that has 0 stamps. So I've seen that Daniel right here has installed his card, great, stamps or rewards. What I want to do now is let's give Daniel a stamp just for thanking him for joining the loyalty program. And all you need to do right now, and you don't actually need to physically be next to Daniel or scan the QR code on his stamp card. Let's just give him 1 stamp right now. And it's done. The way this updates, so Daniel now has 1 stamp earned, and now I want to tell Daniel that I've just given him a stamp to thank him for joining the loyalty program. Welcome to our loyalty program. Here's a stamp. Here's a stamp just for you. Tailor this message to be, you can be as creative as you want with this message. So now Daniel will then see this message that was just sent to him. He'll also see that his stamp card is no longer empty. He's got 1 stamp on him right now. And maybe this will incentivize him to come to the massage parlor or come to my store and spend money because I've given him a free stamp. So really, really powerful. You don't actually need to even leave your seat if you're sitting, or if you have a standing desk like me, you don't need to leave the position in which you're at. You can easily give a stamp to a customer, on their birthday to incentivize them to come. Or if you're running an e-commerce site and you see that this person had just spent $50 worth of purchased $50 worth of goods from you, you want to give them 10 stamps, you can do that right away. You can even redeem rewards. So if your customer is eligible for certain rewards, you'll see the list of rewards they can redeem at the state. And let's say they called you and they said, hey, I want to redeem my reward right now. They might not be next to you, but you can then redeem that reward remotely through here as well. So let's see. So this person has 2 dog walks available. Let's redeem one of them. Redeem this reward. And that's it. And you'll see right here, down here, that the reward has been redeemed at this time. Let's redeem this, so this would increase. And you'll see that the last reward redeemed was at this time. On their cards, we'll see that their reward has been redeemed. So on the back of their card or below, they'll see that they now only should have 1 dog walk left. Customers table, individual customer profiles, being able to give your customers a stamp at any time and to redeem their rewards at any time is very, very powerful. It will allow you to further tailor your loyalty program experience as you would like, based on your customers' preferences, based on their spend patterns, and based on that you might have. And for example, that if Wendy likes wine, maybe tell her that her favorite bottle of wine is now back in stock. She can come in and try a little bit of it. So in the customers table, you can see full transaction history. You can see all the data that you've captured from your customers, and you can even preview their card as if you were the customer and access that card URL in case they lost their phone, they deleted their card. You can also make it easy for them to reinstall again. engage the customers, as you've seen just now, and I did this within just a matter of minutes, is you can give customers stamps right when they join to make them feel loved and make them feel like, cool, I'm now part of this brand, this loyalty program, and I've just received my first stamp. I'm going to come in tomorrow because I want that additional stamp and I want a free bottle of wine at the end. And messages, as I was mentioning earlier, not just promotional messages, but also greeting messages like happy birthday, or messages that are just very informative and add value to that customer. So if you know that it is going to be raining heavily today, maybe you want to tell your customers that it's going to be heavy, there's going to be heavy rain, bring an umbrella. This could really add so much more value to your customers and will make sure that they're thinking of your brand right away. Now, rewarding your loyal customers. We've seen just now how you can easily reward a customer from within Loopy Loyalty board. So we've seen how you can instantly give a stamp or give a reward online. But what if you're a restaurant and you don't necessarily have access to a laptop or a tablet, or you're in a coffee shop or in a nail salon? You might not have not equipment, but laptops or a tablet right there and ready for your staff to use. Now, we also provide iOS and an Android stamper app, and our iOS app was just approved by Apple and it's currently now available, so everyone can go ahead and download this app right now. But essentially, imagine your staff, your baristas or the sales associate at your store. Most people typically have smartphones nowadays. So that's why we provided an app for offline merchants to easily take out the app, tap on scan code, and scan your customer's barcode to instantly give a stamp. A video of how this works. So this is an example of the app on Android. So we provide a secure login, so it's the same login that you'll use to log into a Loopy Loyalty account. Once you tap on scan card, it will open up the camera, and you have to have a camera to ensure that this app actually works. So once you have the camera opened, point it directly at the card, at the barcode of your customer's card. And once that barcode content has been read, you'll be taken to this page inside the app. At the top, you'll be able to see the number of stamps that they have collected. And right below that image, right there, you can see their name, the number of stamps they've collected over, the rewards that they have available. So in this case, there's 2 rewards available, and you can see down here, these are the rewards that this customer has available, and when their last visit was. Do is essentially tap on the plus or the minus button as many times as you would please to then issue stamps and to redeem rewards. So let's just see. So you can see I'm adding 2, 3 stamps, and the more stamps that I add here, if it happens to fall on a reward, you'll see that the reward gets added to the list below. Now your customer can choose to redeem this reward right now. So let's say I've just added 3 stamps. They have a taco, margarita, and quesadilla available to redeem, and they're very, very hungry and they want to redeem it right now. All you need to do is tap want to redeem for them at the same time. So in one single scan, you can stamp cards and redeem rewards. But if your customer doesn't feel like having a taco or any of the rewards today, but they still want to collect stamps, you can do so at the same time. All you need to do is tap on the plus button and then stamp. And these rewards will be saved, and your customer can then redeem them at a later time. Just to fast forward to show you guys quickly. So in this case, I want to add 3 stamps and then redeem the taco and the margarita. Once I tap on that button, it tells me to confirm that I'm about to add 3 stamps and redeem 2 rewards. Really, really quick. So you'll see it's stamping, then redeeming, and then transaction success. And that was it. Really, really quick. You will need to be connected to the internet in order for this to work. So make sure that when you are using the Stamper app in real life, there is either a SIM card with data, or you're connected to your coffee shop or your restaurant's Wi-Fi. We would recommend that before deploying this to all your staff and actually launching a loyalty program is to try it out in your store. Knows exactly how to use the Stamper app. It should be very, very simple, very intuitive. You simply click on scan code and select the number of stamps you want to issue and redeem. Now with these two apps, you can even send back the GPS coordinates of where that stamp was given. So this provides you as the business with see where the stamp was given and to prevent from any fraud. So you might see that your location in, let's say you're in Hong Kong and you're in the central branch, you've given away 100 stamps here, but then in your records you can also see that 200 stamps randomly were given out in the new territories. So you'll be able to track who actually gave this stamp, where the stamp was given. So that gives you that confidence in knowing that your staff are not being fraudulent and they're not rewarding their customers. So we provide measures like this so that you have the confidence and you know that there won't be any, cheating and fraud within your staff. So these two apps are free on the App Store. You can download them today. We provide an iOS version that works on the iPad Pro as well, so you can even use the cool split screen function for multitasking, and on Android as well. So stamping, very, very cool, very, very fast. You just need a data connection and to have the app installed, and that is it. Now the last bit of this webinar is actually measuring the return on investment of your loyalty program. With traditional paper stamp cards, you have no idea how many stamp cards you've issued. You know how many you've printed because you probably spent, $16, $17 US to print a batch of 100. And you probably know how many times you've had to go back to that print shop to reprint more cards and then redistribute. But that's pretty much the only information you really know. With Loopy Loyalty, you know your cost. You know how many cards you've distributed. You know how many times people came in and earned stamps. And you even know how many rewards you've given away. And I'll show you how you can analyze all of this right now. So let's jump back into Loopy Loyalty, and we'll go into our Insights panel. So at the top of your Insights panel is big dollar amounts, and this is probably what's most relevant and what you really want to know from using Loopy Loyalty and from digitizing your loyalty program entirely. Let me just go down over here. No matter what country you're in, you can actually input the currency that's most relevant to your business. So in this case, I'm using US dollars. You input the stamp value. So how much do your customers need to spend to get one stamp? Walking service in the US, it's typically around the $20 US range for a half-hour or a 1-hour dog walking service. I'm going to put $20 in here. Cost down here is how much it costs your business to give away that free reward. So let's say to give one dog walking service for free, it'll cost me. So I'm just going to type that into here. And once you click submit, these numbers up here will then update. And you only need to set this up one time. You probably won't be changing the amount or the value of your reward, or maybe the amount of money your customers need to spend to get a stamp. So once you set this up once, then what it'll tell you is based on the number of stamps you've given away, meaning the amount of times your customer has spent with you, and the rewards you've given away, what your real financial benefit of the loyalty program is. For example, I can see that my loyalty program has driven $2,600 US in revenue, and it cost me only $165 in rewards. My net benefit is $2,435. And the really cool thing about this is that even in the cost of my rewards, I can see that $120 worth of rewards have already been claimed. That's my cost, and I now have a liability. So I know that there's still 3, so you can see 11 minus 8 is 3 rewards that customers haven't claimed yet, but I know that I will need to give that away at some point, depending on when my customer wants to redeem that reward. So it's very, very cool. You'll know exactly the liability that you have, and it helps you plan for the future, plan to make sure, for example, you have the right staff on hand or right inventory in stock. You can make sure you can deliver on the promises to your customers. So very, very powerful insights. You can instantly see how well your loyalty program is performing. But that's not just it. So all-time stats, you can access these 4 pieces of information also on your overview page. Number of customers that have signed up, the total number of stamps you've issued, rewards issued, and rewards redeemed. We also have 2 beautiful looking charts and line graphs and histograms. So on the left side here, you'll see activity. So you can track by day received. So visits in this case means how many people have actually earned a stamp. So 14 stamps were given out on August 10th. 1 new card was added. So you've got a new customer that has joined on this date, how many rewards were earned, and how many rewards were redeemed. So you can actually see and measure the performance over time on a daily basis or even on a monthly basis. So if I were to filter this by month, you can see this is July, there was nothing, and then in August, and it groups everything together. So you can see a month by month, day by day, even week by week, and if your loyalty program goes to the years, you can even see year by year activity. Then on the right-hand side, this is the stamp count histogram. So this is actually something really, really cool, and you'll never be able to know this through paper stamp cards or paper loyalty cards. So what this graph tells me is there are currently 2 customers that have 0 stamps. There's 1 customer with 1 stamp, 1 customer with 4 stamps. And what's really powerful by this is that you can actually, without even knowing the name of your customers, if you didn't collect that information, you can then target a specific customer segment. So earlier when I was showing you back in messages, and I'll quickly jump into there right now, based on the distribution of stamps and the attributes of that specific customer. So stamps earned is less than, let's say, 1. You can then reach 2 customers here. And by looking and accessing these insights, you can see at which point customers are getting stuck. 200 people have 0 stamps. Why is it that all of these 200 have never come in? Or maybe you've noticed that after customers get to 4 stamps, let's say there's 1,000 customers that only have 4 stamps, and there's only 2 customers that have 5 stamps. What is it that's stopping that customer from coming back that 5th time? You with that insight, and you can further analyze and dive deep into the root causes of where people are getting stuck, how you can then send them targeted messages to maybe move to that next level of stamps. You can even then test to see whether this your stamp card loyalty program and the logic actually works for your customers or not. All right. And then at the bottom of this page is your list of transactions. And with Loopy Loyalty, we provide you with the full list of transactions and events from the beginning of time when you first activated your card and that first customer has signed up for your card. So probably a bunch of transactions in here, but you'll be able to see every single event that relates to your loyalty program. When a customer signed up, stamps earned, rewards redeemed, and so on and so forth. And if you want to see, okay, this customer has just signed up, you click on this customer link, and this will take you to that customer. Very, very simple. You can then see, okay, this customer has just signed up. You can see the information, and you can even reward them with a stamp if you please. Oops. Let's go back into insights. So again, a lot of cool insights you can actually get from your loyalty program. You've got the amount of money you've generated from your loyalty program, the statistics that are all relevant to you, the activity to measuring which days have performed really, really well, which days didn't perform so well, what can you do better next time, and the distribution of stamps so you can then specifically target and measure the performance of your program. So to quickly summarize, again, you now have the ability to measure the real financial benefit of your loyalty program. Through every transaction, every event, you now have a full audit trail, and you'll know if somebody was being fraudulent. You'll know if they installed their card or deleted their card. You'll know all of this information right from the get-go. With great information comes great power and also great responsibility. You can target specific customer segments with messages that you think will entice them and to drive them to continue spending with you or to visiting your store once again. Or by just knowing this information, you can then go back to your accountant. Your accountants will love this. They'll see the reliability that you actually have. They'll see the number of rewards you've given away and the number of stamps you've earned. This is great and your accountants will probably thank you a lot for this. And that is it. So we've covered a lot of information today. You're now confident, hopefully you have the know-how to promote your card in order to acquire as many customers as possible. You know how to send different messages to customer segments, whether it's targeting all of your customers to tell them, there's a new promotion in your store, or to target a specific customer segment to entice them to come back once more, or even to a specific customer just by sending them a hello message or a greeting message. See your powerful Loopy Loyalty CRM. You can see a list of all of your customers, where they're, when they've signed up, how many stamps they've earned, and to even give them a stamp remotely or redeem a reward, and even send them a cool message. You've also seen how to give stamps and issue rewards just by using the Loopy Loyalty Stamper app. So we have this app available on the the App Store and also on the Google Play Store. You now know how to measure the cool insights and see actually what insights you have access to from Loopy Loyalty. Giving stamps and rewards away can yield you with so much information to actually generate more revenue and to actually allow you to deep dive into every single aspect and every transaction, every event that takes place in your loyalty program. If there are any questions at all, please feel free to send them right now. We do have a couple of minutes so I can review any questions that you might have and try to answer them. Any questions? Feel free to send them over into the live chat box and we can access them and we can try to answer them. If you don't have any questions, that's okay. All of us are actually available to speak with So inside the Loopy Loyalty, I'll just quickly show you. If you go into Loopy Loyalty, you can contact us at any time. And even inside Loopy Loyalty. So you see there's this little chat icon down here. You can simply click on it, start a new conversation with us, and send us your message. So if you get stuck at any point, if you need some advice, if you want us to even review what your stamp card looks like, and review the messages that you want to send to your customers, we are more than happy to do so. We've helped a lot of different businesses across 30 different industries and given them best practices and advice on what works best. So at any time, feel free to send a message to us. I promise you we're not robots. There won't be an automated response. We will get back to you personally. From the audience, is the Stamper app available on iOS? And absolutely, it is available on the iTunes, on the iTunes App Store. we'll also send you, after this, we'll send you a link to the, oops. But I've just opened it up on here for you to see, and hopefully you can still see my screen right now, but we've just updated this app for iOS. All you need to do is download it. It's free. You can get up and running today. And as I mentioned earlier, this app also works on the iPad. So if you have an iPad Pro, you can do that cool split screen. If you don't, you can just use an iPad mini like the one I have. Use an iPhone, but essentially, iOS app is ready for you today. Now, I don't see that there are any other questions right now, but it was a pleasure speaking with all of you. Hopefully this has helped you and helped maybe inspire you to think about what cool things you can do to activate your card. And like I said, if you have any additional questions and we didn't want to send your question in through a live chat, that's okay. You can contact us separately. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I can't wait to see what your business will do with stamp cards. I can't wait for you to actually supercharge customer loyalty through Loopy Loyalty. So, time to get loopy, everybody. Thank you, and I'll talk to you guys later.